Yeah, this your host Cat Jungle, and today I'm bringing you the scientific evidence of how the evolution of the black African led to the creation of all the other races scattered around the world today. So with that, let us get started. But first we will have to understand the species from which we evolved from and their evolutionary process to get to the humans that you see today. And it all started with Proconsul. Proconsul was an early family of down-nosed primates, unlike baboon and other primates that have outward pointed noses. They had a mixture of the old world monkey and ape characteristics. For instance, his monkey-like features included his thin tooth enamel, a light bill with a narrow chest, short forelimbs, and a quadrupedal lifestyle, which means he walked on all four. And his ape-like features are his lack of tail, his elbows, a slightly larger brain. Proconsul africanus is the most likely ancestor of both great and lesser apes and human beings also. He existed 25 million years ago. Then about 15 million years ago, the hominids speciate from the line of Proconsul. The hominids family includes gorillas, chimpanzees, orangutans, and early humans. Notice that the face and hands of all of the hominids that descended from Proconsul are black. Pyrolopithecus existed about 13 million years ago and is a common ancestor to the gorilla, the chimpanzee, and the humans, but not the orangutan. It had special adaptations for tree climbing, just as human and other great apes do. A wide flat rib cage, a stiff lower spine, flexible wrists, and shoulder blades that lie along its back. Then about 7 million years ago, Sahelanthropus chachadensis evolved. His brain size was similar to that of a chimpanzee, yet it was smaller than humans. The teeth, brow ridges, and facial structures differ remarkably from those found in Homo sapiens. Yet and still, this species brought us even closer to the evolution of modern humans. Then about 5 million years ago, Ardipithecus evolved. He had the brain about the size of a female chimpanzee and about 1/5 the size of a human. It lived largely in the forest where it competed with other forest animals for food. Ardipithecus was bipedal, which means he walked on 2 feet. Even though his feet was more adapted for grasping and not walking long distances. About 3.9 million years ago, Australopithecus evolved. 3.2 million year old remains of this species have been found in East Africa and named Lucy. This animal is full-time bipedal, which means it walks on 2 legs, just like modern humans of today. It was during this species' lifetime that the evolution of woolly hair began. Then about 3.5 million years ago, Kenyanthropus platyops, a possible ancestor of Homo, emerges from the Australopithecus genus. The bipedal, meaning walked on 2 feet, Australopithecines evolved in the savannas of Africa, being hunted by the Dinofelis. The loss of body hair takes place in this period of 3 million to 2 million years ago, which is also linked to the evolution of dark skin. Also, the development of full-time bipedalism. Then about 2.5 million years ago, Homo habilis evolved. The first stone tools were found with Homo habilis. It had less protruding eyebrows and a brain about half the size of a modern human. Homo erectus evolved in Africa around 1.9 million years ago. Homo erectus would bear a striking resemblance to modern humans, but had a brain about 74% of the size of modern man. Its forehead is less sloping and the teeth are smaller. Control of fire by early Homo erectus is achieved by 1.5 million years ago. Homo erectus reaches a height of about 6 foot and 2 inches. Also, the evolution of dark skin, which is linked to the loss of body hair in human ancestors, is complete by 1.2 million years ago. The prototype of the black African had evolved, and Homo erectus would be the ancestor of every human on earth. Then about 1.2 million years ago, Homo antecessor evolved. Not much is known about Homo antecessor besides that he was about 6 foot tall and weighed about 200 pounds. Their brain is about 80% the size of a modern human. Then about 600,000 years ago, Homo heidelbergensis evolved. Homo heidelbergensis is the common ancestor of both Homo neanderthals and Homo sapiens. They are very similar to Homo erectus, but Homo heidelbergensis had a larger brain case, about 93% the size of that of modern humans, and more muscular than modern humans. And about 200,000 years ago, Homo evolved. This is a very archaic Homo sapien. About 160,000 years ago, Homo sapien adultus in Ethiopia practiced mortuary rituals and the butcher of hippos. Then about 160,000 years ago, mitochondrial Eve evolved. She brought about the haplogroup LO, which all African and black skinned people with woolly hair are a part of. Not only is the African haplogroup L 1, 2, and 3 preserved through her lineage, but also all human beings alive on planet Earth today also descend from this particular woman. Then about 60,000 years ago, these different African groups began to migrate into South Asia, and this gave rise to the haplogroup M and N. Also, this gave birth to your indigenous black African population in Asia, which became Afro-Asiatic. Also, around 40,000 years ago, these Africans began to migrate to Australia. They became the Aborigines of Australia, and also the indigenous black population of Europe. Then about 12,000 years ago, in 10,000 BC, the evolution of white skin took place in Africans that had migrated to Europe in order to process vitamin D in colder climates. This mutation was sexually transmitted and spread vastly across Europe. And from these mixtures came about all of the other races scattered throughout the world today. And this concludes our session. Thank you.